All right, welcome to our Greater Lansing real estate market report for November 2020. So let's take a look at how the market was performing over the last month and as well as over the last year. And let's compare it to see if we can identify any trends. So here are our November 2020 market statistics. In November of 2020 here this year, we had a median sale price of 178,500 with a number of sold listings at 638 and the inventory of homes in days as 44.7 days. So a little over a month, about a month and a half. And when we compare that to November 2019, we see about a 10% increase in the median sale price. So that means housing prices are possibly going up. We'll look at other data to confirm that. As well as the number of units, we see a 22.2% increase, which is a massive increase in the number of units. November is traditionally a slower month just because of the holidays. We enter the winter season. We're not really seeing that this year. We're seeing, just general growth in the market, but also because of everything getting pushed back due to COVID and the pandemic, it's really changed consumer and buyer behavior when it comes to buying and selling a home. And then if we look at our inventory days, there's a negative 46%, 4% decrease. So houses are definitely not sitting on the market as long as they are, and inventory is definitely lower. So when we take a look at our November 2020 market trends based on a rolling 12, we see that November 2020 had an average median sale price of 167,890 and 83 cents. The number of sold units is at 566, and inventory of homes in days is at 23.23, so less than 1 month there. When we compare that, we see a change. We see a 6% increase in median sale prices. So again, housing prices relatively climbing. They're going up. We're seeing that trend. However, which is sort of interesting here is we actually see a decrease, a 1.8% decrease in the number of sold units. There's a few things going on here. One is the balance between, still the effects of COVID from April and May on the total number of homes sold in a given month. Because of April, and May largely sat out close to zero or zero because of the shutdown. We weren't selling houses, and so that's going to affect our number of units sold on an average monthly basis when we're comparing November 2020 over the last 12 months to November 2019 over those preceding 12 months. But if you look at the chart here, you can see that we're starting to enter a decline as well. Uh, we'll have to continue to look at it, obviously, to see what the trend continues to go moving forward. But it appears it's not necessarily abnormal to see a decrease here that we're seeing or experiencing in November, just because of the seasonality. So it's certainly shaping up to be interesting, and I think we'll have to look at it more as to decide sort of what that outcome or reasoning could possibly be. Again, though, we see looking at the inventory of homes in days, we do see a 22.9% increase. Again, inventory is low, houses are selling fast. So, looking at the overall total real estate market, we see that the overall total real estate market has actually increased from the $1.2 billion approximately up to $1.3 billion. So despite the fact that we saw a shorter rolling or a smaller rolling 12 of the number of units sold, we do have an average overall increase in our real estate market, largely driven probably most likely by our median house value increasing in prices. So house prices increasing despite the fact that we're seeing kind of flat units comparatively over the last rolling 12. However, again, if you take out the last, 12 months, April, from COVID pandemic, you kind of see those results and reasoning here. So here you can see kind of the impact of April and May. from COVID. But what I think is interesting, as the market started to open back up, the economy started to open back up, and this is exactly what I saw happening in August, was this trend, this slope was actually increasing, and it's actually increasing further than I even thought it would increase. That this slope here, this trend line of this slope from about June to about August was actually greater than the slope here from August to March, which meant that the real estate market total was growing much faster, was growing at a faster rate. Despite the fact that it was lower, it was growing at a faster rate than it was in 2019. And we actually see here from September to November, that slope is dramatically increased relative compared to the slope from June to August, and then from August to April. So this is kind of interesting because we have a slope or a growth rate that is much, much higher than these two previous trend lines if you look at, or if you examine these slopes here. So it's sort of interesting because what we have though is a increasing market, driven by both units sold and homes value. So despite the fact that, COVID hit, we, dropped in terms of our overall sales volume. But if you look at it, we're back up. We're above where we were last year. We're doing better than we were last year. And that's still taking into account even the fact that we got hit by COVID. The real estate market as a whole over the last year has performed better than it did in the previous year, and that's just mind-boggling, in a sense, because imagine if COVID didn't happen, how much higher this market would be, how much more home values would be increased, and how much more homes probably would have been sold. So it's kind of interesting to see, what's going on here. Um, by all accounts, it looks like this is going to continue moving forward. We definitely have positive trends of an increasing market, but we do see some negative trends still going on that exist, such as unemployment rate. High unemployment rate is still high. The uncertainty of people about, still with this COVID. In Michigan, we have a pause here, that we've continued from, November, and it has been extended into December. So it's going to be interesting to see the impacts of those on the real estate market, moving into next year and the next couple months. But everything else is indicating a still positive trend towards a growing real estate market. So again, what you can expect is pretty much the same thing as like the last couple of months. Is that if you plan to buy, interest rates are low, super low, which is a great thing. You can get some good financing options, but there's gonna be few homes available on the market, so you're gonna have a tough time. And if you plan to sell, expect to sell fast. There's few homes. Homes are still going quickly. They're going above asking if they're in good condition, if they're right. If the buyers, if they are desirable homes for buyers and stuff. And if you plan to rent, you can expect to see corresponding rental increases, as well as the real estate market continues to grow and the cost of living is going up. And if you plan to hold, again, expect your equity position to continue, which is great if you want to cash out, refinance, or if you want to look for a home equity line of credit, so that you can maybe complete some of those repairs or renovations on your home that you've desired, especially now that we're all stuck at home with COVID, and our home has become more than our home. It's become our schools and our offices. It's definitely put your home in a new light, and you've had to make adjustments as needed. And luckily, with the increasing house values, it makes possible to get that home line of credit and possibly go ahead and do some of those renovations to make your home more suitable and functional for your daily living. And so, with that being said, if you are planning on buying or selling a home, get in touch with us. We'd love to help you out. If you want to learn more about the real estate market and what it means for your specific situation, what you have going on, we're happy to help, happy to answer any questions that you might have. You can give us a call at 517-244-6044, or send us an email at realtor@delinskeygroup.com. We'd happy to set you up with an agent, get you connected, and get you on your journey to buy or sell a home.